Parkour! This game is like when in Skate 3, like you toss your ball and then you just start running. And the developer for the game saw this and was like, I want to make a game on that. Which is fitting because that's what he did to our offer to make music for the game. So, in an act of spite, we bought the game, no cost of living crisis, so please subscribe. We played it, reviewed the music in it, and also made music of our own. Which is better. Hopefully, I don't know. Stick around to the end of the video to find out. Disclaimer. It's making some pretty big claims.
Certified pedophiles.
But disclaimer, my vitriol for this developer is all in jest. I saw the game while scrolling on TikTok and it sounded like my perfect game. So when I saw this game was looking for volunteers on Discord, I immediately applied and got ghosted. To be fair, I only posted this one, which they probably couldn't use anyways. But I'll be damned if my indignation isn't justified if I raise my voice. Side note, I hear he's a producer, so go check out his stuff. I love it when people make music. More people should make music, including you. Go make some. Now, back to my indignation.
Anyways, with my spirits low, I was still interested in how a duo artist's music compared to Michael's. On one hand, we have a solo producer who decided to create a game, literally crafting from the ground up the visuals, gameplay, and music for the game with a single-minded focus. And then you have us, who, yes, technically have made music for a game before. How hard could it be to do it again? So I sent Ariel a trailer for the game and he came back with a beat. I was also going to make a beat based on the trailer, but by the time he sent his,
it's release day. Got the game up on my projector. I'm planning to enjoy the shit out of it. I'm playing it in my bed, my controller. Very excited. So let's get into the game. Review the music, review the gameplay. I don't know.
full disclaimer, this is not me on release day. Before I say any critiques, I just want to give the context that this game is made by one single person, which is incredible. Great job, Michael. Great game. But there is quite a steep learning curve, which I didn't think was enjoyable to watch. And also, this is where my interests of games and music collide. So as I'm reviewing the game, I'll ramble, and I'm going to review from the lens of how cohesive the gameplay and visuals are with the music. If you're not interested in that type of review, skip to here. You'll see gameplay there, don't worry. Now back to the review. This perspective is... I thought this was a first person perspective, but I guess it could also be you in my lap, which has weird connotations. But anyways, a headphone for you, and then a headphone for me. So I'll start by walking you through the tutorial, just so we have an understanding of what I'm doing. A is jump. Holding A gives you a higher jump. Tap B to roll. Left trigger is kind of like your general parkour button. LT plus buttons lets you vault. Holding LT lets you climb. Holding LT lets you stride. LGBT lets you pride. And also there's some precision jumping as well with left button, which kind of reminds me of Jump King. Or at least my experience of it. The other buttons gives you vaults and tricks. I call that one the... And the directional input plus buttons gets you a variety of flips. And so coming off that tutorial, you'll notice there's a lot of granularity with the controls, whether it be variety with flips and vaults, or the precision of your jumps and timing. The expression this grants the player also comes with the burden of executing it all perfectly. This means there's a pretty high skill floor, but an even higher skill ceiling, which to me sounds characteristic to parkour. Because it's fucking scary to start, man. It's terrifying. But as you understand the controls in game, you start falling into a flow and a sort of zen zone that's very enjoyable. But let's take that understanding of the controls and see how it works with the aesthetics of the game. Now, early access. There's still parts with default textures, so I'm not going to even mention graphics, but the animations, man. Let me tell you a story. A story about the bond between a man and the obscure mobile game he played as a kid. There's a mobile game called Vector. It's also about parkour, funnily enough. And although the gameplay was just you swiping up on the screen, it still sold you on the parkour fantasy. How? The animations, man. This shit was buttery smooth. And the animation program used on Vector was called Cascader, the same animation program used on this game. Fun fact. And the shit looks smooth, man. I now know how it must have felt to play Super Mario 64 when it first released. And it meshes with the gameplay so well. How good and intuitive the buttons feel to just press these two together do so much to sell the parkour fantasy. There's no narrative to speak of, so I think gameplay and visuals kind of make up the vibe of the game, in addition to the music, so let's review that. So far, I think I've heard 4 tracks, and I'd describe them generally as pretty good, ambient leaning drum and bass. So how do these tracks vibe with the gameplay and visuals? Well, I think the first thing is that there's a lot of ways to play the game, and I'm not sure the music covers all of it. There's not a lot of extrinsic motivations to play the game in a particular way, outside of time trials and tricking challenges, and that means that people's intrinsic reasons to play the game can be quite varied. I don't find the music energetic enough for time trials, intense enough for the tricking challenges, or epic enough for people who just want to run around and find cool lines to do, and definitely not comforting when I'm smashing my head trying to get this line, making me question my entire existence.
What if this game was called Rooftops Freak Alley? And instead of parkour, it's just you roof-topping me and getting all up in my kidneys. Sorry, I'm usually alone when I entertain my intrusive thoughts.
But goddamn, exploring? Absolutely spot fucking on. My best experiences with this game were just trying out the new maps, and that was just because I got to explore with this system. I was incentivized to trick, to use the speed boost to get around, incentivized to explore when I spotted something cool I wanted to try, and that's the type of gameplay I think the music facilitates. And this is Michael's game, right? I'm sure he's aware of this as the person who made the game and the music. If this is the part of the game that he wanted to emphasize, like, that's perfectly okay with me. Personally, I would want the music to enhance the coolness of parkour because it is, a video game. But hey, you know what? Let's go have a listen to what Ariel made for the game based on what he heard in the trailer.
So this is trash shoes. Actually, I'll do a challenge. We got some gameplay. Wait, I think I found it.
I don't think the track fares as well when exploring ambiently or doing freestyle tricks. It's just a bit too much energy to be trying to keep up all the time, but that's probably because it's like a 5-second loop. But yeah, good job Ariel, it's pretty great for time trials.
Critique time. But bro, my ass is kind of sore. Must be all that fence sitting, because I don't think Michael or Ariel's song is better. I think both are great, depending on, how you're playing the game. You're not at all, oh my god, this is holy shit on a stick. Here, like right now, example. Discovering this movie map while I'm trying to conclude about both of their music. Exploring to this music is a joy. I think the ambience kind of lends to the fact that I'm not pressured to do anything besides explore and fail. I don't think one is better than the other, per se. It depends on how you're playing the game. But that's not to say that it's perfect. So after playing the game, how about I make a song that fills in the gaps of both of their music?
Enhancing the fucking scale and epicness of what you're actually doing. Immersing yourself in the fact that you're dope at pressing buttons to make man do parkour. I want to make a song that's worthy of the montages this game is definitely going to have.
Okay, if I was to do that, I want a song that captures the moment I do that line. That's what I want. I want that triumph. Okay, I want a song that captures the moment I do that and watch it back. That's the music that I want to make. And I kind of want to keep playing.
Hey, up here. Game time's over. It's time to make beats. Now, I can feel that I'm losing your attention, so we'll compromise. Now that I've played the game and had a chance to sit with it, I've decided not to make any music for the game. I'm going to be making music for me to play the game too. So with that out the way, here's how I made the beat. I started with this sample and just yoinked the chords and used that as a starting point. I wanted to capture the process of overcoming your fear, so some contemplative, somber piano, a bass that rumbles in your gut, and a guitar melody that whispers in your ear to jump. And so for the first drop, I wanted everything to sort of settle in and to capture running. The rhythm, the excitement, being in the zone. And so we take the whispers of jumping and get to the fall. That's done with this new melody here, which carries on for the rest of the song. And then we've got some bass, kicks, snare, Now moving into this final section, I wanted it to represent the bombastic leaps, jumps, and tricks that you do in the game. Not me personally, I never get past this section. So I started with a fairly simple kick and clap pattern. This fucking insane hi-hat, just let me solo this. The bass here going fucking nuts, shit got me dead. And now we have a beat worthy of sending Ariel to flip. Pun! You're probably thinking, why did I call this song Gingerbread Man? Because it's for a game about parkour. Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Welcome to the outro. I know I clickbaited the shit out of the title, but in all honesty, mad respect to the solo developer who made his own game and his own music for the game. He's living my dream. So let us know, did you think the duo artist made better music than the solo developer? That would be embarrassing if not, but oh well. Subscribe, check out our music down below, check out the game. Parkour.